Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors in Winston, Chester. I'm glad to hear this morning. Have a special guest here in the studio. But first, let's take a look at our weather. Brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and hardworking crew. Speaking of weather, how about these spring storms we got blowing in here like this, like we've had? This is spring break. We thought we were going to have a little bit better weather, but it's just challenges for the outdoorsmen. But we'll make do. I promise you. High today is going to be 62, a low 47. A little cool snap there. Water temperature at the end of the pier. Guess what? Would you believe 72 degrees? 72 degrees at the end of the pier in the second week of March. The river readings brought to us here by Apalachicola Bluntstown is 8.5, and the Choctaw Caravel 5.2. They're going to be going up a little bit with the rain. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Check out some good strong tide today. Lows at 223 this morning, highs at 253 this afternoon. March wind will continue to blow. You know, it blows about the whole month of March every year. And today it'll still be coming out of the north about 10 to 12. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back with our special guest. Okay, welcome back and welcome to our guest, Jason Griffin, one of my former students here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
I see Jason a lot. He graduated that same group at Mose in outdoor ed when I had Matt Smith and Justin Leake and Mandy Miller, and I talked about that group. That was a good year.
Yes, sir.
That was a good run. And Jason's into fishing. He's always loved fishing, always loved the outdoors. And I run into him every now and then. Ran into him last year, and he would start talking about pompano fishing. Mm-hmm. He said, "Coach, I'm making jigs now." I said, "You're what?" "I'm making jigs." So we still got to talking, and bless heart, he brought me some jigs for pompano fishing. They're too pretty to fish with, but I'm gonna fish with them some. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, just growing up here and always loved fishing and mainly pier fishing and stuff like that. But all kinds, red fishing, everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay,
so and you work at Gulf Coast Hospital?
I do, yes, sir.
Okay. And I told him he's going to be late for work, so I told him he'd do like at school. I just write him a pass for being late to class.
Yeah.
But so you started, you had this passion for fishing like a lot of y'all did, and fishing off the pier, you learn a lot about fishing, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Watching people.
Yep, I started by just observing and, just kind of stepping back and watching everybody and just learned as I went, and then it just one thing led to another, and I started making my own jigs, and just something about catching a fish on a jig that you made. So it's just...
Yeah, that had been so satisfying.
Oh, yeah.
Well, tell us the process. How did you start making your first jigs? What got you started in it?
Well, you did, actually, in outdoor ed, and learned how to pour. And a friend of mine, Patrick Broom, actually taught me how to wrap. And just when I started pumping and fishing, he took the time and showed me how to, wrap and how to really pour and make your own, and just, learned and adjusted from there. And I'm getting better. I'm not perfect, but I like it and I love it. And
these are beautiful.
Thank you.
It's sort of, like I say, you make your own jig and go fishing with it and catch something. That's just cool.
Yeah, it's just... And,
so you got started just making some little pompano jigs?
Yeah, just playing around, something like this right here, and
see that color. That's my favorite color right there. That and orange right there. So that's like a round bullet head sort of. So you have your mold like we had in class, different molds and all for. And you always thought the hardest thing was getting them painted. What kind of paint do you use?
I just use spray paint right now. You can use the powder paint, but it's real messy and stuff. But I just like to use the spray paint and use a little epoxy, and it holds up pretty well.
You hang them up and just sort of spray them, and how you do it? Mm-hmm. That's so cool. And then the wrapping part. In class we never got into the wrapping part because y'all were hard-headed enough just trying to teach y'all to pour it. But no. So tell us about the wrapping when you wrap it.
The wrapping is difficult, especially with the pompano jigs. But I do have a vise that I put it in, a little small vise like this, and take your hair and you'll just cut it to your length, and you just kind of wrap it around the hook and just wrap it around there. It can be difficult at times, but
how cool!
Figured it out.
All right, now. Then you also went up to cobia. You went to larger groups. So.
Yeah, cobia fishing, you know, is not like it was in the 90s when I should have been fishing for them, but they're still around. And the cobia jigs, I like to wrap those. They're more fun to me, and they turn out, because they're bigger, they turn out a little nicer. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, you know, I was looking at the color and all. The one thing attractive about the cobia, all the good cobia jigs have some kind of like a trailer, you know, just sort of get it flashing and all. This is really good stuff.
I like orange are my favorite, and white seems to be real good too.
Orange and white, yeah. Look at those folks. What about the feathers? Where do you get those from? You shoot a bird or something? Or?
I bought some hackle. Yeah.
Hackles.
Yeah, the hackle and stuff like that. They're very expensive, but I've got my own chickens now, so I might use my own.
I'll tell you what kind of guy this is. He came in this morning, he brought me a dozen eggs. Is that not a good thing to do? We're going to be eating eggs. I love eggs. But so your chicken is laying eggs?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That is so cool. Now, do you have time to go fishing after you spend all the time making it?
Well, I try to do all this in the wintertime when I'm not fishing as much. And but yeah, right now I'm not going to be wrapping anymore for a while. It's fishing time.
Yeah.
You know, pompano's starting to show up, and we went Saturday, waited a line for the sunset, but we didn't get nothing. But we found some fleas, so it's time.
Okay, we've got some cool pictures and all to show you, but I'm looking at different colors. You know, I don't see a lot of blue color. Have you had much luck with this?
These are like for redfish. You know, you can catch Spanish off of them. You know, it's just something I played around with, made a little bucktail.
So you fish for redfish with these?
Yeah, I have with them naked and just like without the bucktail and just like a grub or soft plastic. And they work great. These are new. I just made these.
Cool. You know, the versatility of what you're doing. Like I say, you can put a grub tail on it and then fish redfish. So that's what's cool. So you've caught off your jigs. What all kind of fish have you caught?
Well, I've caught pompano. Actually, this one right here, I've got a picture of it. But this caught my first cobia last year. A little small cobia, but I caught it off of my jig. So
that's cool.
That's what's real special, and I've got the jig from that's my biggest pompano.
You caught off that color?
Off that jig. Caught a 5.5 pound pompano about 8 years ago on Pensacola Pier.
Oh man!
Off that jig. That was one of my first jigs I ever made, because this is straight hair, which is very difficult to wrap with.
I love it because it's got a little bit of paint chipped off of it. That means you've used it. I love it. I use it a lot. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with Jason. Okay, welcome back. Sitting here with Jason Griffin doing all kinds of things. These commercial breaks, folks, we stay busier than ever doing commercial breaks. First of all, where's that bucket? We got to show you this. First time ever on Panhandle Outdoors. Y'all see this right here? Y'all know what that is? That's a bunch of sand fleas that's showing up. That's natural bait.
Yeah, pompano candy right there.
A pompano candy. So that's cool. You bring live bait on here and show that on this show. Now, we want to show some pictures that you sent me. Let's see. The first one here, well, here's a picture of what we just showed right here. That's it. That's the sand fleas. That's what they look like. Okay, now, tell us about this one.
That is a 5.5 pound pompano that I caught on Pensacola Pier about 8 years ago. Only fish that was caught that day, as far as I know. It was real muddy and I seen something flash and threw my jig down there, and sure enough, he picked it up.
How cool is that? Okay.
And that's my first cobia I ever caught on the jig.
That's the one you just showed.
That's the one, yep, on the jig here. It was about, I think it was 38, 39 inches, a smaller one, but for my first one on the jig, it was pretty special.
I know that had been special.
And that was caught a couple years ago. That was about a 3.5 pounder. That was a decent pompano.
What pier are you on there?
That's the county.
The county pier,
yes, sir.
Okay. Good deal. They were crowded that day, wasn't it?
Yeah, springtime always is.
The word got out.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And this in here is pretty neat. That's my son Nathan. He's 20 in the Army, and
cool.
we actually caught that black drum in a cast net.
Oh my goodness.
We were at the Bailey Bridge,
Yeah.
fishing for bait, or catching bait, fishing for trout,
Yeah.
you know. And he happened to throw it down there, and he's like, "Man, I got something."
Okay. Oh, that's good. And
Yeah.
getting back, I know what's cool is we're doing all that stuff with your son and all. That's a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. It means you know, the world. When Nathan, he's always been fishing since he was 2.
Since he was 2?
Yeah.
Oh, you couldn't start him at 1? Yeah. All right, I'm going to show you. Now, you sell these jigs.
Yes, sir. I do a little bit.
All right, so check this out. Here's his info right here. Jason Griffin, Griff's Jigs. I like that logo. And
My daughter came up with that. My daughter and girlfriend worked together and came up with this.
How cool is that? All right, here's the phone number right here, 850-481-9333. Okay? Folks, I want to say something about for 2 things. Getting something that's made locally is special, but getting a homemade from a guy like this, I'm gonna buy some of these too, especially the bigger ones here. But if you get a chance, we're talking about supporting local people in their endeavors. Jason works hard, and he does this on the side with 2 or 3 jobs, I know.
Yes, sir.
But he tries to squeeze fishing in. So I want to encourage you to buy these. And this is the time of year. That's why I wanted him to come on this time of year. This is the time of year to really get to go pumping those fishing. They're just starting to show up. You went the other day and looked, and they were not quite there.
Yeah, not yet. We got there late. But it was still nice to be on the sand and find some fleas. That's the biggest thing, finding the fleas right now.
Yeah. How you notice now he didn't have them in water. We're talking about a lot of people just pour water in. You said they're just loose and go. Now those are what, 2 days old?
Yeah, Saturday afternoon.
Okay, so a couple days old. So
the biggest thing is keeping them in like a cup with holes in it, to where the urine can float down in the bottom of another bucket, and just keeping them rinsed with fresh salt water. They can stay alive for almost a week or longer.
Fresh salt water, yeah. Now you got to go get them back out there pretty soon, though.
Yeah, but I'll end up brining these because I won't be able to go this week. So I'll shock them with hot water and salt and brine them and freeze them and have them for the season. Oh,
what a great idea! Well, y'all did good. Do you use a sand flea rake, or you have your own kind?
Yeah, I made Patrick Broom actually made my first one that I used, but I need to get another one. But yeah, it's a rake, and we go at night where you can see them a lot better.
Okay, that's one of the keys to it, going at nighttime and all.
Yeah.
The little antenna sticking up out of the sand.
No, you'll see like a V. You'll see like a V.
Went under.
Yeah, they'll go under the sand, and you have to wait till the water washes back down, and you'll see little V's in the sand.
Yeah.
And
this is interesting. Now, there's 2 different processes. I've always looked for in daylight. Now, this is 2 different. Both of them are successful. I look for the antennas in daylight. Okay. Now, what they do at night, the waves ought to come in and come back out, and then it makes that V in the sand. I know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of little V's, and you get in there fast.
Yep. You gotta be on them, because when they hear you, any kind of movement, they'll go deeper. So it's harder to get them.
Yeah. That is very interesting. So, let's talk about inshore fishing with your jigs. Talking about Spanish. You trove some for Spanish. How do you do that?
Just mainly at the pier.
Okay.
Or if we're on the boats, we'll trove a little bit for them. But when it comes to the redfish, I've caught them on this little jig here with a little Z-Man trailer, and they work just amazing inshore. And I just started making these, so that's gonna be a good little. I just wanted to be self-sufficient with my jig heads, and then hopefully it'll go to other lures and things like that. Because just making your own stuff, it's just you get more gratification out of it when you hook a fish on something you made. It's just something else.
You said a lot about that. A lot of the old timers made their own fishing poles and different things and wrapped and all. And I'm so glad that you're keeping that going, and it's so special. That's why he's reluctant to come on the show. We're real nervous before the show and all of us. We just act like we're in class or just talking in a normal day. And he's doing so good. But I just admire what you're doing, and you're doing such a quality job with it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And you use that spray paint, huh? That's interesting.
But this in here is one of my go-tos.
That's a flat head.
Yeah, we call this the grave digger. So when you throw it out there and you jerk it, it goes into the sand, and it kind of kicks up the sand, and it looks like a sand flea coming out of the dirt.
Okay.
So, and these work amazing. This is really the only one I throw. When I'm on the pier, I throw the heavier one. This is a lighter one. I started wrapping the lighter ones on calmer days, and I got the heavier ones for rougher days.
What ounce is that one?
This one's I think a
quarter or half?
I think it's a quarter.
It's hard to tell looking at them.
Yeah, because the half is a little bit bigger. Because the half is what I throw, and that's the biggest one I got in the mold. But I noticed that the half is too much on a calmer day, and so I wrapped this one for the calmer days. But that half ounce when the wind's blowing, that's the ticket.
Oh, how cool is that? All right, we're going to take our final break. Come back with Jason with the Griff Lures, Griff Jigs. Okay, right back. Okay, welcome back. Today with Jason Griffin with Griff Jigs. Let's take a look right now at our fishing game times. Here we go right here. Our fishing game time, blue water outriggers, 5:12 to 7:12 this morning, and 5:41 to 7:41 this morning. Griff Jigs right here. Here's the phone number one more time. Griff Jigs, 481-9333. Okay, now, listen, what you do, make a big batch up at one time, so don't call him and order just one. He's got about 200 made up, you said?
Yes, sir.
So tell him what color you want. His colors are proven. So, and this is cool stuff. Now, you were talking about your favorite jig is this one.
Yeah.
Okay. And what? Now, see, how many bug it? I mean, that basket right here. This is organization, different colors and all. All right, and the other one, show me that. This is cool stuff.
This is some of the ones. Oh, I'm gonna show.
Okay.
This one right here, it looks like a calico crab. You know what that is.
Sure does.
So that mimics that. I haven't really fished it, but these look really cool. I try to match the hatch, as everybody says. Just same colors. That's like this one right here. I did an orange on the bottom. It looks like sand flea eggs.
Yeah.
And
yeah. The orange sand flea eggs. That's exactly right. Well, I know this is exciting times for you to go out and do this. So when people want to order, just call you up, and then y'all can get together for it. Y'all don't order just one, like I said. Order half a dozen or so.
Yeah,
you're gonna lose some.
Yeah, I'm just a solo guy here, so I just wrap when I don't have nothing going on, which is not often.
You're not making a living off of it.
No, this is just a hobby. It's just something I enjoy to do, and just like to get them, other people to use them and give me feedback, and if they work, if they don't work, just something I enjoy to do. And hearing people catch stuff off my jigs is just,
that's special, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more than selling them. It's just.
That's so cool. I'm definitely going to be trying something out next week or two on Panhandle. I'm gonna also try some redfish, fishing with some of them redfish, and put a different.
Yeah, I was worried about these hooks being a little weaker on those, but man, I caught some 26, 27-inch redfish off of them. So on the kayak. So
no kidding.
Yeah. So I know they work.
So your main kind of fishing is off the pier and wading, and then
do some kayak fishing. Once spring's over, I'll get off in the bays and do some red fishing and trout and stuff like that.
That is so cool. I've got some people have been sending me pictures, and I've got a bunch of them to show. But I want to spend as much time as I can with Jason. But one of the things, do you eat your own pompano? How do you cook your pompano?
The last one I cooked, I actually did it whole on the grill.
You did?
Yes, sir. And it was fantastic. Probably my favorite way to eat pompano, because they're a lot oilier fish than some, and just a different flavor. But when you just slice it, put it on whole, and put some lemon, butter, that's good.
That's the way we cook ours. I was curious. I always ask people how they do it. All we never fry it up. We cook it just like that.
Yep.
And that skin just peels off, and it's really good meat.
Yeah.
And nothing like catching it the same and eating the same day you catch it. Most times you can't do that, but if you can, that's special, isn't it?
Yeah, I like to keep it as cold as you can. The colder you get your fish, the more firmer the meat is. To fillet or cook, however. But the fresher it is, the the
Now,
better.
see, you're listening to someone who's been there and done that. So as a kid, he started fishing off the pier. So he learned by doing.
Yep.
And I remember him in class and how much you enjoyed doing that. Is it hard pouring, or you haven't burned yourself anything, have you?
Well, I've had a few close encounters, splatterback, but no, it's pretty good. I got a nice little setup, little old cast iron pot, and use a little butane heater, heat it up, and and just use an own ladle.
Yeah.
And I don't like the ones that I don't know what you call them, but it's got the little pour spout in the bottom of it, and I just rather use a ladle.
Okay.
My own control.
And a lot safer.
Yeah, a lot safer to me.
I remember doing it in the class with all. It was just a fascinating time. Everybody just loved doing that.
Yeah, it's something else.
And spread them out. But the girls, we couldn't find good paint. I remember what year it was, and the girls said, "Well, use some of my fingernail polish." I remember the girls started using their fingernail polish.
Yeah, funny that you mentioned that, because I use that as well, almost like hydro dipping. I pour it in a tub of water, put my colors in there, and mix it around, and dip them. I should have one.
Oh, cool. And I bet it has a solid coat on it too. So we got about a minute left.
I got some in there, but yeah.
So you spray some of these and dip some of these, huh?
Yeah.
How cool is that? Oh, that's good. So we got to start wrapping up anyway. So, and I'll run into you off and on. So
yeah.
Now you got to go to 2 or 3 jobs and you're doing this. We appreciate your work ethic, one thing, but
well, thank you.
It's so good. It's such an honor to me to have one of my former students on, and then seeing them do stuff like this. It's just cool at the 10th degree right here. So, Jason, I appreciate it, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
No need to be nervous, was it?
No, we're good.
Okay. We'll see you around, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't forget about get some of his jigs. Okay. Y'all do something good for someone else today. You have a great day. Enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.